Hey guys, Sunny Vince here, and welcome to another interview on this channel. Today, I have the privilege of having here with me Tom Martin, all the way from the UK. He's a certified YouTube growth specialist at channelfuel.co, and he's a massive expert when it comes to YouTube. So I'm really excited to have Tom here and being able to ask him so many questions. So how are you, Tom?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here. It's been a while since I recorded a video with my face on it, so very interested and excited to be doing it.
Very excited, very excited. And you are in the UK, right? Right now?
Yes, I am. I'm just outside of London, but I am a bona fide Cockney by birth. So yeah, I'm an East Londoner.
Amazing. I would just get into this, and obviously guys, if you have any questions to Tom, let us know in the comments, and I'll make sure Tom gets to the comments, and then we reply. And if you like any of this content, of course, subscribe to the channel, as this is what it's about on this channel, all about YouTube. So Tom, if you want to make probably an intro about who you are, what you do, and obviously some of your story.
Yeah, so I started working on YouTube professionally back in 2012, a long time ago now. So yeah, my background is not the traditional, YouTuber. I wasn't making videos for myself or anything like that. I actually managed to get a job for the BBC in London, running their YouTube channels. Don't know how I got that job. I had no experience, but thankful that I did. So I ran their YouTube channels for 5 years. Brands like Doctor Who, Sherlock, Top Gear, BBC Earth, which is like all the David Attenborough stuff, which is really cool. So yeah, millions of subscribers, tens of millions of views, and a great time. I then moved over to another large TV company, which was called Endemol in London, running their social media and YouTube at group level. So they do a lot of big formats like Big Brother, MasterChef, some big dramas like Peaky Blinders, Black Mirror, and the biggest channel that I worked on there was the Mr. Bean channel. So we took that while I was working on it from 25 million views a month to about 150 million views a month. So again, billions of views, tens of millions of subscribers gained, and lots of money made for the companies that I was working for. So then in 2018, I set up Channel Fuel, which is my own, technically an agency, but we're really small. We're kind of like a boutique agency, I like to call us. So we help other TV companies, rights holders, but also YouTube creators sitting in their bedrooms. We help them basically systematize what they're doing, have a bit more of a data-led approach, and get more views, subscribers, and grow their business using YouTube, basically.
Yeah, I love it. I started online in 2016, and that was all about Facebook ads, and then obviously funnel, email. So I didn't focus at all on YouTube. I started focus on YouTube end of 2019, started with YouTube ads, and in the last year or so, more focused also on the organic part. And I really believe YouTube is probably the best platform out there, because you're building real estate. You're putting out videos that people can watch over and over again for months, for years. And then of course you can also do ads, but we will get into this more. So what are, in your opinion, your experience, the biggest mistakes that you see people making when they approach YouTube, when they want to grow on YouTube? What are the biggest mistakes?
Yeah, well, I suppose one of the biggest is just not having patience and expecting things to happen overnight. I tell people often YouTube is very much a long-term game. And yes, there are some people that will kind of explode quickly, but they're less common, So what I generally tell people is you have to expect to upload a video every week for years and still have no one watching. And it's not to say that it will take years, but you have to be prepared to do that, because that's what it can be sometimes. So that's kind of a bit more of a meta mistake that I see. On the more technical side, I'd say the most common and one of the biggest mistakes that I see is at the end of a video, most people will either just say, like, subscribe, give us a comment below, or they'll say, you know, check out our website, check out our course, get this free ebook. But that goes against everything that YouTube wants, because YouTube basically wants people to watch more videos. And if you can keep YouTube happy, they will keep sending traffic to your YouTube channel. So the number one tip that I always give people is when you wrap up a video is to have another video in your mind already that makes most sense for people to watch next. And then you can say, I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to find out more, I did another video about this, and you can watch that by clicking here. And then you stick the video right there so they can click on it. And that just gets people to watch one video, two video, 3, 4, 5 videos in a row. And that's when a YouTube channel really starts to grow. You know, YouTube want people to stay on the platform because they can collect more data and they can serve more ads, which is where they make their money. So if you can prove that you can help YouTube and help them make money, help people stay on the platform, they're going to reward you by sending more traffic to your channel. So that's probably the most common piece of advice that I give to 90% plus of channels that I work with is you need stronger calls to action at the end of your videos to get people to watch more video.
Love it. Actually, I have a question on this because, for example, myself and some of the people I work with, they are more focused on lead generation. So sending people to their website, then they opt in for whatever it is, a webinar, a lead gen, like a freebie, whatever. So in that case, we go a little bit against what YouTube wants, right? Because we're sending people outside of YouTube. Is this going to limit the growth of the channel because we always try to send people outside to opt in into the website, or like how do you see this?
Yeah, that's definitely long term. It will affect how much channel growth you'll get, because if I'm YouTube and I'm sending you traffic, and every time I send you a viewer, they leave, and I send someone to your competitor and they stay and watch 5 or 6 videos, I'm going to keep sending people to your competitor. So what I like to say is, if you can find a good balance between how many times you send people off platform and how many times you send people to watch another video, that's really going to help. So maybe if it's like 1 in 3, 1 in 4 videos, but make sure that then the call to action is really, really strong, so you get, you know, the best conversions. And what I would like to think is that, you know, let's say you get, let's just use round numbers. Let's just say you get 100 views a day, and you know, you get a 10% conversion rate, so you get 10 people visiting your website. Well, if you grow the channel and you get 10,000 views a day with a, you know, let's say a 5% conversion rate because you've got less calls to action, then you're still going to get 5 times as more leads, even though you've done less videos that have a kind of strong call to action. So overall, if the channel grows, the reach grows, and even though you're not having as many calls to action, overall, you know, the theory would be that you would get more traffic to your website without having every single video having a strong call to action, like you must go and check out this website. And also, you know, there are other things that you can do without just having that big strong call to action at the end. So you can just mention it in the middle of a video. So you could be talking about something and say, oh yeah, and if you want to know more about this, just click on the card and you can find out more about that. Or if you want to know more about that, there's a link in the description, check that out. And then you just go on to your next point. And what will happen is the people that are super interested will go and leave. But then at the end of the video, you can still have your really strong call to action to like, watch this next video, you know. And then even if you do have a strong call to action, you know, go and check out the free ebook. Give another option for people that are not going to do that. So go and get the free ebook here. But if you'd like to find out more, I've got another video that you can watch here, you know. So always give the person the option to be able to go on and watch more videos.
Love it, love it. And then obviously we talk about some of the mistakes. Now let's talk about like the best strategies that you've seen working to grow a YouTube channel fast. You know, you mentioned like it can take years, months, because obviously it's a long-term game. But what are some strategies that can speed up the process to grow faster?
Yeah, obviously, making amazing videos is the absolute best thing that you can do. But that's not necessarily like the most actionable advice. So obviously, any recommendations around that I'll give around like optimization, they assume that you're already making great videos. So let's make sure that's your number one priority. The kind of biggest strategy, I would say, I don't like the word shortcut or hack or anything like that, would be around keyword research. So you can make any video you like about any topic you like, but you don't necessarily know that there's an audience for that. So I would, at least when you're first getting started, do some keyword research and find out exactly what people are already searching for. Because then you can say, okay, people are searching around topic A and it's got lots of search volume, but it's really competitive. But if I look at topic B, it's got a good amount of search traffic, but it's really like there's no competition. If you could go and own that key term, even though it might be smaller, the fact that it's wide open is going to work really well for you as you just get started when you don't necessarily have great authority. And if you do that enough times, you have lots of smaller videos bringing you decent amount of traffic rather than going after this one hero keyword that YouTube may not recognize you for because you're just getting started. And the beauty of that is, like, you already know there's an audience for that, and you already know there are people searching for that. So basically what you're trying to do is, make content around that keyword, then optimize your titles, descriptions, tags. Obviously make sure you're mentioning it in your video script, so that you're basically hijacking that search traffic. So for those 10,000 searches that topic is getting every month, if you can show up number one or around that, you're going to hijack all of that search traffic. And that's really important, especially when you get started, because how does YouTube know what your channel is about? How do audiences know who you are? So you really need to do anything that you can do to try and cut through, because every day that goes by, the competition on YouTube just gets bigger and bigger, tougher and tougher. So yeah, my kind of number one tip, especially for anyone getting started, is to do some keyword research and find those decent search, not necessarily really high search volume keywords, but good keyword volume that's got low competition, that you can go in and basically own that corner of YouTube and hijack that search traffic.
Absolutely. That's also what I also recommend to people, because YouTube is a search engine like Google. So we have people actively searching for something every single month. So if we can rank some of the videos high for relevant keywords in people's niche, and then of course we are stealing some of the traffic from competitors and bringing them to us. And then that's how I started growing my channel from the beginning, because it's otherwise, if I just try to, some people just do amazing videos I've seen, but no one actually watches them because no one's looking for them. And then they get discouraged and eventually they quit. So we have seen that obviously keyword research is extremely important. And I know you are a big expert about doing keyword research properly. When we chatted the first time, you were telling me something already. But what are the best strategies? Like, how do you do keyword research properly for your YouTube videos?
Yeah, so before I even start working with a client or launching a new channel, I would do like a big major kind of piece of work. It might take me 1 or 2 days just around keyword research. But don't worry if that sounds scary, because I don't do that every day for the channel. You do that kind of once up front, and then for each video you just spend like 1 or 2 minutes doing a little bit extra. So I'll try and explain my process. It might get a little bit nerdy, might be a bit detailed, so stop me if you need anything to be clarified. So first of all, I come up with a list of about 20 to 50 kind of seed keywords. So keywords related to my niche that I think people are going to be searching for. The main topics, famous names, famous techniques, questions that you might have. So you get that list up to around 20, 30, 40, 50 seed keywords. If you can't come up with that list, you probably don't know the niche well enough to be starting a channel in it. So if you're doing it for a client, you need to go back and get some kind of information from them, or you need to do some more desk research first. I then take those keywords and input them into a tool called vidIQ, and they have a separate keyword app on the website, or if you're using the Chrome extension, they have a tool inside that as well. And I basically input each one of those separate seed keywords, and then that spits out data around the exact search volume of that keyword, the competition level, and it also gives an overall score, which is basically a calculation between how competitive it is and how much search it gets. So the higher that overall score, the better the opportunity, basically. And it not only spits out data about that single input that you put in, but also a load of suggestions around that niche. So I do that pretty much once for every keyword. If you're doing it in the Chrome extension, you can enter 5 at a time. And I basically copy and paste or export every single one of those outputs. So from those 50 inputs, I might end up with 1,000 outputs. So I stick that into a Google sheet or an Excel spreadsheet, take away all the duplicates, because obviously there's a lot of similar searches, so they'll give a lot of similar results. And then I just go by eye and delete anything that's not relevant. So you can see when YouTube have just thrown in a totally random, you might be looking at cooking videos and all of a sudden it puts in like TikTok compilation or something like that. And I just go through by eye and I just delete anything like that. So we've gone from 1,000 keywords down to maybe, might have 300 left that we can use. And then from there, you can start to play around with those, start to put them into some kind of order, which ones would relate to every video that we ever make, which ones are only relevant to a category of videos that we would ever make, and which ones would only be good for kind of a specific video. So let's stay with the cooking example. If we're going to launch a cooking channel, we might have certain keywords that would apply to every video we ever make, and we would call it like the channel level, and that would be stuff like cooking videos, recipe videos, quick recipe videos, healthy recipe videos, stuff like that. And then the category level stuff might be stuff like meat recipes or dessert recipes, barbecue recipes, vegetarian recipes. And then the kind of video specific stuff would be stuff like cheeseburger recipe, chicken pie recipe, spaghetti bolognese recipe, whatever it may be. So we take all of that stuff, and then we can start to use that to structure like our metadata. And when I talk about metadata, I'm talking about titles, descriptions, and tags. So now we've got some data that we can use to structure how we optimize our videos, but also we've got 300 potential video ideas. So not only have we got the optimization stuff, we've also got a list of like content that we can make that we know people are searching for. So yeah, that's the kind of main way that we approach kind of harvesting all the data and collecting all of that data. And then we can take that and we can optimize things like our about section in our channel keywords, or to make sure we're targeting those different levels of keywords. And then of course, when we upload a new video, we can also bring in pieces of those that metadata system that we've built based on data. So we're not just sitting at a blank screen and typing in the description. We're saying, okay, there's this keyword we need to fit in here, and there's this keyword we need to fit in there, and there's these keywords we need to get into our kind of tags box. So we're going from kind of just guesswork to a very structured system based on that keyword research that we've already done.
Love it. And how many videos per week would you recommend people upload on YouTube?
I'd say the minimum would be one. I think there was definitely a rumor that went around a few years ago that like you have to post daily. That's definitely not the truth. you know. I'd say 1 a week minimum, if you can, 2 or 3. But I think in that range is fine. Anything above that, and it's really kind of like there's like a law of diminishing returns. So you won't actually get a huge benefit by being able to post 5 times instead of 3 times. I think the only difference is if you're running like a channel where you post like kids nursery rhymes, and then you probably would publish once a day, but there's not many people watching this video that's probably doing kids nursery rhymes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've also been trying to do since probably for the last year, at least once a week, because I've seen like a consistent growth after doing that. Sometimes even twice a week, but yeah, I'm not very consistent on the days. Maybe I should improve that as well. I'm sure that now people ask, okay, now I've got the keywords, I know which videos I need to do because I'm very structured, but how do I make sure that people find my videos then? How do I make sure that I rank high so I can steal some of my competitor views?
Yeah, so I think again there are lots of things that would go into the ranking or not of a YouTube video. I spoke earlier about having great videos, and the reason that is important is not because YouTube watches the video and says this is great or not. It's because they analyze how much watch time you're getting from those videos. So YouTube will look at the average view duration and the average view percentage of a video. And if those numbers are high, that is their biggest signal that this video is good quality. So if you can grow those numbers, your average view duration, your average view percentage, that's the biggest thing you can do to grow your channel. And so when YouTube sees that, across your channel, you're getting these high numbers, they're more likely to look upon your channel that is worthy of ranking. Also, they will look at your catalog of videos and say, what is Tom an expert in? He's made 100 videos. They're all about barbecue. So if someone searches for barbecue, we know Tom is a safe pair of hands because he only makes videos about barbecue. And so he is an authority on barbecue, not like someone who does like some gaming videos and some kind of entrepreneurship videos and some movie review videos, and then some entrepreneurial stuff and some YouTube tips. Like, you need to stick to one topic so that YouTube sees you as an authority, and then they're much more likely to rank you for a certain set of topics. And then from a kind of technical point of view, if we go back to the keyword research, what we would do, we would take the channel level stuff and we'd make sure that was in every single video that we uploaded, and that would be partly in our tags, it would be in our title and our descriptions. Then we would take the category level stuff and we'd put that in the videos that belong to that category. So let's say, for example, in our barbecue channel, we had a category of barbecue chicken. So any recipes we did around barbecue chicken, we'd have a chunk of keywords that went in those titles, tags, and descriptions. And what that does, it starts to, obviously it's consistent across 500, 1,000 videos. And what YouTube starts to say is, okay, if this channel, all of their metadata all of their videos have metadata around barbecue videos. So they're an authority on barbecue. And 300 of those videos all have metadata around barbecue chicken. So if someone searches for barbecue chicken, we know that they're the authority on that. And so that's great for the search side of stuff, but also because a lot of the videos have similar keywords in them, they'll start to engineer relationships between those videos. So search is great, as I said, especially when you get started. But what really grows a YouTube channel long term is having those suggested videos on the left-hand sidebar. So YouTube looks at that metadata and sees that it's similar. So if someone's watching one of your videos and they enjoy it and they watch it for a long time, YouTube can easily look at the rest of your videos and say, okay, well, if someone like this, there's 500 videos over here that are very, very similar because you've engineered your metadata to make them look similar and appear similar. And so then someone hopefully goes on to watch 5, 6 videos and like really gets into your ecosystem. So not only are you ranking in search for those terms, which is great, but because of your kind of engineering relationships between your own videos, once you've got them via search, hopefully they'll subscribe. But either way, they'll go on to watch 3, 4, 5, 6 of your videos instead of just one. And to me, that's the biggest kind of technical thing that you can do in order to grow your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's very interesting because, for example, my channel right now, when we are recording this interview, I mainly talk about 2 topics as of now, but maybe I should I should change. Maybe it's a question for you. This I talk about obviously YouTube stuff, so how to grow on YouTube, how to rank, so some YouTube tips, and then because I've been doing this for the past 4 or 5 years, I also talk about network marketing tips. I had a coaching company for a while, so I still have like a big following for that. But is this gonna actually slow down my channel growth because I talk about these 2 topics? Should I have like 2 YouTube channels, separate YouTube channels for this?
Yeah, well, obviously you have to think about that from like an operational point of view. Like, do you have the time and the resource to grow 2 YouTube? You know, one's hard enough.
Yeah.
Do you have the time to do 2? But there's two ways you can really look at this, and I think they both probably give the same answer, which is so if I know you from your marketing and coaching entrepreneurship stuff, and I hit subscribe, and then the next week you give me a tip on
YouTube,
how to do X on YouTube, that's not really of interest to me, and so I don't watch that video and I don't click, so that hurts your click-through rate. So there's that, which is like from the audience point of view. And then secondly, from YouTube's point of view, to me, it all comes back to authority. So if someone searches for, you know, YouTube tips or, you know, how YouTube growth, they can either send someone to you, who does some YouTube stuff and some marketing stuff, or they can send them to one of your competitors that only do YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So the choice for them is pretty easy because, you know, you're kind of like diluting your authority by doing 2 separate subjects, whereas your competitors might only be doing YouTube tips. And that's not to say you can't kind of cross over a bit and say, okay, I'm going to give marketing tips, but only around how to integrate that with YouTube. So how to use YouTube for a sales funnel, or how to get email leads from YouTube. So it's still a bit more kind of niche, rather than just saying Tuesday's YouTube tips and Thursday email marketing tips where YouTube's not involved. So I would always recommend, as much as you can, as is humanly possible, to kind of stick to one single topic per channel.
Yeah. I've seen also like some of the people I work with, and they just stick to one, and they are growing like very, very fast, much faster than, for example, other people, or like me or other, like they try to focus on many other things. So that's actually been amazing. And I just had another question that came to my mind before. You were talking about not only keyword research and ranking videos high, of course, but also going into suggested videos and then browse features, and that's how the big growth actually happens. And you mentioned obviously the metadata and making sure like you do certain things. Are there any other like tips or formulas to make sure people can get into these suggested videos, or it's a bit unpredictable?
Yeah, it's definitely unpredictable, but it really comes down to a few main things. Again, it's watch time and session time. So how long are people watching your individual videos? How long are you keeping people on the platform? So that it really, so like one thing you can do for session time is, yes, promote people to watch more videos, but also if ever you link to a video, make sure you link to it as a playlist so that people are more likely to go and watch 5 or 6 videos. Create more playlists, again, because if someone watches one video in a playlist, they're likely to watch at least 2 or 3. So growing that watch time, session time, YouTube are much more likely to recommend you. Again, being an authority in a subject, they're much more likely to recommend you. Also, if you think about, let's say you've got a video that's like top 10 YouTube algorithm hacks 2021, and then you've got another top, the next 10 tips over here. If you have people at the end of your video, you say go and watch the next 10 tips, and then you put them in a playlist where it's first top tips and then the second top tips. If you engineer that journey between video A and B enough times, YouTube will learn that it makes sense for that viewer to watch part 2 straight after this. So then you're much more likely to get that first suggested spot. If you've ever watched, I do a lot of TV stuff on YouTube. So if you ever watch, I'm going to make something up. If you watch Breaking Bad, Series 1, Episode 1, it's very likely that your next suggested video will be Series 1, Episode 2, because YouTube is clever enough, 1, to look at the metadata, but 2, to realize that most people will watch that, then that. So they will then replicate that journey organically. So if you can engineer that journey enough times, video A to video B, video A to video B, video B to video C, if you can keep doing that enough, YouTube will start to replicate that organically. And that's why I always get people to recommend a very specific video next, rather than just saying, let YouTube choose the next one, or make it the next, the latest video that we've published. Always think about what makes the most sense for the viewer's journey to watch next. After this video, you've given them email marketing basics, send them to email marketing, intermediate skills, then send them to the advanced skills. So always think about the viewer's journey, what makes sense for them to watch next. You've given them the email marketing 5 email marketing basics. Now give them like the 5 tools every email marketer needs to get started, and your first funnel explained. Get that in a playlist, get that pointed out. And the more times people take that journey guided by you, YouTube will start to kind of replicate that journey.
Love this. This is gold. So guys, actually let us know in the comments like which one of the strategies that Tom shared today you're gonna apply right now after watching this video. And just it's been really cool, and we can go on and on because obviously YouTube is a massive social platform. Like it can take ages, but I know you're super busy. So where can people find out more about you, what you do, get in touch with you? And
so I'm not very active on social media, but if you want to find me, I'm
there is some this is the good thing of being live. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at channel_fuel. But really, if you want to get in touch, it's tom@channelfuel.co. You can check out my agency over at channelfuel.co. Amazing. So guys, and obviously I'm going to put the link in the description so you can reach out to Tom faster. And again, if you have any questions, if you feel like you want to know more about this, let us know in the comments so we can help you further. I really appreciate your time, Tom. It's been super valuable having you here. I know you're super busy. And thank you guys for watching here, and see you soon, Tom. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.